The EA-18G Growler does not carry bombs, nor does it dogfight with air-to-air missiles. Yet, in silence, it stands among the deadliest instruments of modern warfare. On the surface, it resembles the F-A-18 Super Hornet, but beneath that familiar skin lies an aircraft designed to shatter the battlefield before the first shot is fired. By hunting radars, disrupting communications, and blinding air defense systems, the Growler clears the path for the main strike. In 2011, over Libya, it went to work quietly before the first bombs fell, suffocating enemy air defenses. In an era obsessed with stealth fighters, the Growler is a reminder of a simple truth. In today's wars, victory does not always begin with an explosion. Sometimes it begins with silence. To understand why the EA-18G Growler came into existence, one must return to the early 2000s, a period when stealth was becoming the king of the battlefield, while behind the scenes, electronic warfare was quietly and rapidly turning into a critical necessity. For decades, the U.S. Navy relied on the iconic EA-6B Prowler for electronic warfare missions, a large, slow, and aging aircraft that nonetheless performed its duties effectively, from jamming enemy radars to supporting airstrikes and protecting crews from surface-to-air threats. But by the early 2000s, the Prowler was rapidly becoming obsolete. A dangerous gap was forming in America's ability to dominate the electromagnetic spectrum. Enemy air defenses were growing more sophisticated, radar networks harder than ever to jam, and the Prowler's legacy design could no longer keep pace with modern warfare. The Navy needed a new, capable platform, one that could operate in highly contested environments while flying alongside fast, advanced strike fighters. Rather than starting from scratch, a strategic decision was made: build the next generation of electronic warfare aircraft on the airframe of the F-A-18F Super Hornet. It was a logical choice. The F-A-18 Super Hornet was already carrier-capable, flexible, and reliable, and using an existing platform promised faster development and simpler maintenance. Working closely with the Navy, Boeing extensively redesigned the aircraft for a completely different mission. The internal gun was removed, replaced by advanced electronic attack systems. Tactical jamming pods were mounted on the wings, and inside the cockpit of the EA-18G Growler, new displays and controls were added, enabling the crew to manage complex electronic attacks across the battle space. In 2010, over Libya, the EA-18G Growler entered service as the U.S. Navy's primary electronic warfare aircraft. Despite its visual similarity to the F-A-18 Super Hornet, its mission is entirely different. Instead of engaging threats directly, it neutralizes them before radar lock is ever achieved. Over time, the Growler has become a cornerstone of enemy air defense suppression missions, and with upgrades such as the next-generation jammer, it continues to strengthen its role in modern warfare. What truly sets the EA-18G Growler apart is the invisible power it wields within the electromagnetic spectrum. Unlike traditional fighters that rely on bombs and missiles, this electronic warfare aircraft fights in an entirely different domain, one where weapons are not explosions, but signals, frequencies, and pulses of energy. These tools are used to confuse, disrupt, and suppress the enemy's ability to see, communicate, and even respond to attack. At the heart of this capability are the ALQ-99 jamming pods mounted on the wings and centerline of the Growler. These pods form the aircraft's primary electronic attack system, flooding enemy radars with powerful radio frequency energy and effectively drowning them, burying real targets beneath noise and false data. For example, if a surface-to-air missile system attempts to lock on to a friendly aircraft, the Growler can jam that radar and drastically reduce tracking accuracy, to the point where a missile hit becomes virtually impossible. Although the ALQ-99 has been in service for decades and was first used on the EA-6B Prowler, its adaptability has allowed it to remain effective in modern combat, especially when combined with the speed, agility, and maneuverability of the EA-18G Growler. While the EA-18G Growler is not a frontline strike fighter, it is far from defenseless. It carries a limited but highly effective set of offensive and protective capabilities. Its most important weapon is the AGM-88 HARM anti-radiation missile, which homes in on radar emissions to directly destroy enemy air defense systems. Any radar that activates to search for or lock on to targets risks immediate detection by the Growler. When electronic jamming alone is insufficient, or when an enemy radar reactivates, the Growler can deliver a rapid and precise strike without relying on other aircraft. This combination of jamming, detection, and direct attack ensures the Growler's survivability in heavily defended airspace. At first glance, the Growler and the Sukhoi 34 may appear similar, but their design philosophies are fundamentally different. The EA-18G Growler was built from the outset as a dedicated electronic warfare and air defense suppression platform, whereas the Sukhoi 34 is a strike bomber to which limited electronic warfare capabilities were later added. The Growler not only jams radars, but also identifies enemy air defense networks in real time and coordinates their suppression or destruction. While the Sukhoi 34 can carry anti-radiation missiles, it does not match the Growler's level of specialization, integration, and depth in electronic warfare. Looking to the future, the EA-18G Growler is being reconfigured for an even more complex battlefield. Although the aircraft itself is not stealthy, upcoming upgrades suggest it will play an even more central role in network-centric warfare and highly contested environments. At the core of this transformation is the next-generation jammer, which is gradually replacing the aging ALQ-99 pods. The first variant, NGJ-MB, is already entering the fleet, offering greater power, higher precision, and adaptive frequencies designed to counter modern radar systems. The low-band variant, NGJ-LB, is also in development, intended to target long-range search radars, among the most dangerous threats to stealth aircraft. At the same time, the Growler is evolving into a true digital node, capable of processing, fusing, and distributing data across the strike group. Working in coordination with aircraft like the F-35 and platforms such as the E-2D Hawkeye, it not only blinds the enemy, but sharpens the vision of the entire fleet. A future is even envisioned when the Growler operates alongside unmanned systems, directing or supporting drones acting as decoys, jammers, or forward sensors, extending the reach of this silent king deep into the battlefield without placing pilots at risk.
What do you think? Share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more defense analysis. Until the next video, take care and stay safe.